Good morning and welcome back to AstroBeauty, where we match our makeup to the moon phase. Today, the moon is in Aquarius, and so I am going to put together an Aquarius makeup look and talk about the Aquarius astrology and what we can expect as the moon goes through Aquarius this month. I'm going to do my face makeup and I will see you on the other side. Hey guys, here we are and back again. As you can see, my face makeup is done. Now let's talk about the moon in Aquarius. Now, this was actually one of the more difficult videos for me to come up. Like every month, the moon in Aquarius is always like kind of a strangely more difficult theme for me to put together because Aquarius is just so like electric and out there and unique and individual. Like coming up with an outfit like that every month is kind of a challenge. So I really, for this video, for my first video on Aquarius, and I should say Aquarius holds a special place in my heart and in my life because me, AstroBeauty, your girl, has a stellium in Aquarius. With my personal planets, I have the Sun, Venus, Mercury, and Jupiter in Aquarius. And so I am what one might refer to sort of as like a super Aquarian. And I really know about what it's like to be in Aquarius. So when the moon goes into Aquarius and I get to talk about Aquarius, it's kind of like Aquarius. And I'm not biased, but I am, just because it's what I know the most about, because it's what I live. And so, that being said, for this video, as I was trying to figure out how to theme my first AstroBeauty Aquarius video, because like I said, it's kind of a more difficult look for me to come up with every month, I just was like, you know what? Let's just take it back to our roots, okay? I'm an Aquarius. AstroBeauty loves Aquariusness. It's just what it is. And so, since Aquarius is about embodying our unique expression and really just capitalizing on our individualism and our ability to be unique in whatever it is we bring to the table, I put on the tightest spandex shirt that I have. Now, why on earth would she do that, you might be wondering? Well, here's the answer. As an Aquarius, as a child, I was highly spastic. I had insane amounts of internal energy. I couldn't stay still. I was all over the place. I was one of those kids that just can't contain themselves. So I decided that gymnastics, well, it started with dance, okay? Which dance will probably truly always hold the real place in my heart. But it quickly transitioned into gymnastics, where I spent the next 15 years of my life straight, 5 days a week, literally minimum 4 hours a day. 5 years old to 20 years old, USA Gymnastics. So what I'm trying to say is, your girl spent most of her time growing up in the gym in a leotard. Not in nice clothes, not in, stylish outfits, not being all AstroBeauty, but in a leotard in the gym. And so for this video, in honor of Aquarius and my unique expression as AstroBeauty, I put on a tight black shirt because it's the closest thing I have to a leotard. And a leotard, strangely, is my comfort zone, is my AstroBeauty Aquarius. That's who you were for a very, very long time. And so I'm channeling my inner gymnast and wearing my leotard-like shirt, although I will say I find it very strange these days that women's bodysuits, straight up bodysuits that you wear as a shirt, but they're a full bodysuit under jeans. You know, the part of me that's trying to grow up and be more sophisticated and ladylike and womanly in the world is that's strange. But the part of me that's my Aquarian youth of 15 years of gymnastics is they're making leotards for real clothes now? I need one in every color. I got one in fluorescent pink. Now we know why I'm wearing what looks like it could be a leotard. For you, for your Aquarius look, you should make it whatever your individual self-expression is, whatever you feel the most comfortable in, whatever you are used to and comfortable in being out in the world, because for me, I performed in front of thousands of people in a leotard for 15 years, and so, I don't know. That's just what she knows, okay? So that's what she's doing. Again, 4 minutes in, and I'm only still talking about not makeup. So let's talk about makeup. The eye look, the makeup. Since I'm wearing black, I did that on purpose because Aquarius is the sign of electricity. It's the water bearer, but kind of the way that the symbology is read, the water is really the electric force, the life force energy, okay? It's like if we live in the electric universe that I'm always talking about, it's kind of the flow of the electromagnetic energy is kind of what the water in the Aquarian theme represents, because it's not a water sign, it's an air sign. So and it is an air sign. It's all like, it's very cognitive. It's like very kind of sort of detached emotionally and like all about ideas. And we'll talk about that a little more going in. I'm trying to make these videos so much quicker, but I just have so much to say. So, okay, for my eye look today, whenever the moon is in Aquarius, one theme that I do like to stick to is like bright neon colors. And I don't know if it's just because I am an Aquarius, but I love me some neon colors. Like, I love wearing like highlighter yellow or highlighter green or highlighter pink or highlighter blue. Any of those colors. I think they're great. I just love them. And so for my eye look today, I'm going to do something. Okay, when the moon goes into Aquarius, I always like to wear a makeup look that, you know, I wouldn't just wear every day. And so actually today is Friday. The moon's not really in Aquarius when I'm shooting the video, but I'm channeling the moon in Aquarius so that I can have it out by the time the moon is in Aquarius. So today it's actually a Friday, and I saved my moon in Aquarius look for a Friday just so it's not so, like, to make it a little less crazy when I'm walking around with a fluorescent blue eye look. Like, Tuesday may not have been the best choice for that. So I am going with a bright blue today, and bright blue sort of to represent like the Uranus. Uranus is the ruler. Well, actually, like Saturn is the traditional ruler of Aquarius, but Uranus, ever since it came along, is like the one that is used in the newer like Western model. So, I mean, I kind of see how they both play in, and that's a discussion for another time. But right now, we're just going to talk about Uranus. And Uranus is like, electricity, energy, like brightness, like things happening all of a sudden, like big shocks, surprises, like, yes, Uranus, here we are, bah! And so, like, and anybody, I mean, I can say for myself for sure, and I bet you, like, a lot of people that have really strong Aquarian energy know exactly what I'm talking about, because you can feel it inside your blood, like, inside your body. Like, I swear I have lightning in my veins a lot of times, and it literally, like, makes me feel, like, spastic and, like, out of control sometimes, like, physically. Like, I'm like, ah! You know, when I get, like, overly excited or, like, nervous or something about something. And I swear that's why you find, like, a lot of, like, individual, like, different type sports athletes are Aquarians, like figure skaters or gymnasts or, like, bobsled racers or, like, pole vaulters, like, stuff like that that takes, like, you really have to, like, use your whole body, like, figure out, like, control your whole body in order to, like, do this, like, really weird feat of individual sports. Like, at least, like, being a gymnast and being in that community and coaching a lot of gymnasts, I saw that there were, especially in the, like, the kids that kind of, like, excelled in, like, the classes and stuff and moved up more quickly, there was a lot of Aquarian energy. And I really think that it's just because of that, like, that, like, internal, like, if you don't have it, you probably think it sounds crazy, but it's literally like, I'm about to jump out of my skin. I need to go do a bunch of flips or, like, go really fast down something, or I don't know. It's weird. But that is, like, Aquarius, okay? I need to do makeup. We'll talk more about Aquarius in a minute, but let's do makeup. So today, for my look, let me go ahead and get my eyes primed. This is from the All Natural Face. I'm an all natural makeup channel. I only use all natural makeup, and I only use all natural makeup because I don't want makeup to be a reason I put toxins in my body. Like, I don't eat food that's not, like, organic. Like, I don't, you know, go, like, bathe in cleaning supplies. Like, I try to, like, do things pretty clean in my life because I want to be at my best for as long as I possibly can, and that includes not using makeup that is filled with toxic chemicals, because why? There are so many awesome reasons not to, in the form of all of these super great brands. All right, so that's that. Now, okay. First thing I'm going to do, like I said, I'm going to do, like, a bright electric blue eye look. Blue is kind of like a color that, like, bright blue, bright yellow, bright neon colors just always make me think of Aquarius. But especially bright blue, just because of, like, I don't know, the whole like water bearer association, and like Uranus is like a bright blue-green planet. And when I think of Aquarius, plus it's like the winter, you know, like it opposes Leo, which is like the sun and the summer and the most light. So to me, it's like the ice queen planet, like the ice queen sign. And it's funny because when I was in kindergarten, that was actually the first role I was cast in my kindergarten play. I got to be the ice queen. And for some reason, I just felt like it was a good fit. I don't know. Okay, so let's just do this. Let's just do this and talk more later. All right, first thing I'm going to do, and I want it, it's not going to be like a super shimmery, like bright eye look. I want it to be more matte, although I am going to use some shimmers. But the first thing that I'm going to do is go into my Laura Geller eyeshadow, Uptown Chic Iconic New York Collection eyeshadow palette. And I'm going to use this shade that I always go to, just this like foundation color right on top, just as a base coat. And then I'm going to go over it with Role Model from the Barbie palette. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. And then I'm going to start with the blues. Okay? Okay. So, I need to pull my mirror closer. All right, so Aquarius. I've already said a little bit about you guys. I don't have time. I'm trying to get this done like relatively quickly, so I'm not going to go into like a million descriptors of Aquarius, but it is the sign of the bringer, like of knowledge, sort of, and that's what the water bearer represents. And it is an air sign. So like I said, it's like super like cognitive. Okay, I'm going into this, my Barbie palette from Pure Cosmetics, and I'm going to use this second shade right here. It's called Role Model, and I use this for like a base like crease color all the time. There's just something, I just really like this color. I don't know, it's just my business. I don't know if it's like the way it is on my skin tone or if I just like the way it mixes with other colors. But regardless, I really like this color. And I'm going to put this just like up here. So yeah, it is, it's about like, kind of like being like emotionally detached from things, like very like idea oriented, very like, you know, looking at things from a unique perspective, like being very like individualistic. But it's kind of like Aquarius is also a sign of the whole. So it's kind of like you're expressing your individualism, like in contrast to like how you fit into the whole. You know what I mean? It's kind of like the expression of individualism as a dynamic aspect of what's going on as part of like the whole. Is kind of like how I see how that plays into it. So for you Aquarians, you ascendants in Aquarius, the new moon in Virgo fell in most likely your 8th house. But also, I mean, it could have been a house up or down. And if you feel like what I describe isn't really you, then check either my Capricorn or Pisces video, because it may have been closer to one of those houses, depending on how your chart is. But for the most part, if you're an ascendant in Aquarius, see, it's just like a nice brown color. And I'm going to go all the way around my eye with that. Then you're probably quite like a unique, maybe like detached, sort of easygoing person. Because those are kind of like Aquarius is not super like emotionally driven. You know what I mean? Like stuff can kind of happen to an Aquarius that could happen like somebody with strong Aquarius energy that could happen to like somebody else. And they might just kind of be like, you know, like, yeah, that was really bad, but I'm through it and it's not really like plain, like I'm not really like emotionally tied to it anymore. And for some people, that's kind of bizarre because literally Aquarians, a lot of times, I've seen it. Like they can have the most insane things happen to them and they're just kind of like, you know, I got through it. No big deal. Because it's just, whereas another sign, like somebody like a Leo or a Scorpio or a Taurus or something might be like, oh, my earth is shattered forever. And it might take like years and years to get through something. Like the same type of thing. A lot of times an Aquarian is just kind of like, not really that, like, put off by it. Or like, it's not that they're not put off by it, but it's like there's just not the same amount of like emotional angst and like stuff attached to it because it's such like a cerebral, like it's almost like they're trying to figure things out more on like a cognitive level. And then I mean it's the water bearer, like the wisdom bearer, the bringer of like knowledge and stuff like that. So it's kind of like they can maybe figure it out like on a more like psychological or like logical or just like cognitive type level. So then they can more like rationalize it with maybe their emotions so it doesn't cause the same type of impact. Like instead of being like emotionally like driven, they're more cerebral, maybe, I guess you could say. Okay, so now in my crease, I am using one of my samples from the All Natural Face. I ordered a sample, like a $20 sample kit from them called Going Green months ago, and they sent me samples of literally like everything in the company and 20 different eyeshadows that they make. And this is the color Cornflower. I always want to use it because it's so pretty, but it's just not one of those colors that like there's really like a ton of opportunity to use, you know? But we're going to use it now. And I am going to take this Eco Tools crease brush, and I am just going to put this matte bright blue like right across my crease. The All Natural Face, I've said this before, I have a lot of stuff from them. I could do a full face from them like every day and be completely cool with it. They're a really great company, and all of their products are like skin benefiting, especially their, I mean, not like their shadows and stuff. They're just normal shadows with natural ingredients. But like their foundations and their concealers and stuff like that have such great ingredients in them. They're actually like benefit your skin when you use them. And that's, I've been using their liquid foundation and I really love it. Look at that. Looky there. It looks so nice. I love electric blue. Like literally, probably as an Aquarius, I would wear this type of bright blue shades all the time if I could, but that just would be completely unreasonable. Sarah, we don't. Yeah. So the All Natural Face, really great. So I'm just going in like this, and we are doing that. Yeah. Okay, so back to the ascendants in Aquarius. If you're an ascendant in Aquarius right now, well, for life, this life, then that means that you most likely had the new moon in Virgo happening in your 8th house. The 8th house is the house that's associated with the sign of Scorpio. It's all about things that are kind of like under the surface or hidden. It also has to do with like other people's like stuff and resources and stuff like that. It is a very psychologically deep and complex house, you know, hence the nature of Scorpio. And so to have that stellium and all of that energy in your 8th house for the new moon says to me that for you guys Aquarius ascendants, which I am not an Aquarius ascendant, I am a Gemini ascendant, but I do have that big stellium in Aquarius, so this applies. Like, I can relate to all of this stuff as well. In different, it's funny how it, you know, how it goes, but yes. Anyways, do we love it? I do. So yeah, having the new moon and all of those planets in your 8th house for the this month, it's kind of like all of that energy, all of that Virgo energy is trying to like refine your psychological state, like your undercurrents, like what's under the surface, you know what I mean? Like, and especially now that the full moon is going through, if you're an ascendant in Aquarius, that means that you had Pisces. You have Pisces on your 2nd house, and we're about to have a full moon in Pisces, which is going to land in your 2nd house. So the 2nd house and the 8th house axis is kind of all about like what I value, like the 2nd house is personal values and value systems and like self-worth and stuff like that, and like what gives us security, whereas the 8th house, like I said, is like deep psychological like situations and then like other people's resources, whereas the 2nd house is like our resources. The 8th house is like other people's, like our entanglements with other people and stuff like that. Okay, now I'm going to go into my Barbie palette. I'm going to use this color right here, which is the shade Ken, of course, Ken. And I am going to put this just like over and across, okay? Okay. I'm going to use this Eco Tools eyeshadow brush. So, yeah, with all of that energy of the new moon in your 8th house, during this past month since then, you may have like felt or been kind of like introspecting, like looking at, oh yes, like looking at what exactly your like hang-ups internally might be, or maybe there's some type of like light that's being shed on like psychological complexes that have been like hindering you possibly. Look how amazing. Oh my God. Bright colors just do it for me. I don't know. So, okay. Yeah, new moon in the 8th. So that basically puts a highlight, and I'm just going to kind of blend this up a little bit. They're two different shades of blue, but I want the matte blue. I don't want sparkles to go up here, but I'm just kind of blending them. And then I have another shimmery blue from the All Natural Face that I'm going to go with just under the crease to kind of like blend out the two blues, because it will match like this blue and that blue. Yes, so a highlight on perhaps like things to do with like psychological issues, like things that are hidden, maybe like secrets or other people's like resources, other people's stuff. All right, so that is kind of what, with a new moon in the 8th, falling in the 8th house in Virgo, like maybe like refining, like refinement, or just generally like those themes in some type of way. All right, now I'm going to go into this shade from the All Natural Face. Another one of my samples is called Boysenberry. And it's kind of the same shade as the Cornflower, except for it's like a shimmer and it's a little deeper. And I'm going to use this as a like a bridge sort of between the Ken blue that I did down here, the Cornflower up here, and I'm going to go around my eye with this one. So yeah, like that's pretty much like all I can really say about that. Like just some type of highlight on like things that are under the surface or like psychological issues. And there will be a light like shown on those things coming from your second house of like self-worth, security, and what you value. As the moon goes into Pisces in a couple days and we start the full moon phase, because it will oppose where the new moon was. And oh yes, and it will really just shine the fullest light on those issues that have been highlighted for the past month since the new moon. So that's what's going on for you guys in terms of where the energy is most likely manifesting for the new moon. Now let's talk about your chart ruler, okay? So as an Aquarius, your chart ruler is Uranus. Like I said, the planet of like that rules like electricity, shocks and surprises, and always puts things right. Oh, buddy. She's an Aquarius today. Yes, she is. And your ruler is doing some big things right now, and so we should talk about that next. Now, your ruler recently, and when I say recently, I mean recently in Uranus terms because he moves really slowly, but he moved into Taurus last year. I think it was last year. And he's been moving slowly through the degrees since then, and now he's actually retrograde. He just went retrograde. Do we like? We like. And so Uranus right now, if you're an ascendant in Aquarius, is your chart ruler, and retrograde. Now I'm going to use my black tea 100% pure liquid liner because I kind of want a nice thick line today, and that's what this will do for me. So he is sitting, most likely, if you're an ascendant in Aquarius, he's most likely sitting in your 4th house. And the 4th house rules like the roots, like our roots, our home, like the mother energy. And to have Uranus sitting there is suggesting big necessary realignments, changes regarding the things of that theme, okay? So with Uranus in your 4th house at this time, don't be surprised if there are major changes, shakeups, and possibly even like look out for like even like accidents, because Uranus rules like Uranus will do whatever it takes to make something happy. Like if you are not making the changes that you need to make, Uranus will make it seem like the worst things in the entire world are happening to you. Like it is the type of thing that will like kick your ass until you do what you need to do. And then it will ultimately, you'll look back and you'll be like, oh my God, thank God. But it was so hard and I so didn't want to do that. And like, I wish, like Uranus will do things the hard way. And that's just what it does, but it's always for the best. Yes. All right, I'm just going to go back into here and then do my other side. So things related to home, family, roots, those things are all highlighted for you guys right now. And as an ascendant in Aquarius, every month when the moon goes into Aquarius, because Uranus is in Taurus, it's in a fixed sign. So when the moon goes into fixed signs, that's when it makes the big aspects with Uranus. And Aquarius is one of those fixed signs. So when the moon goes into Aquarius every month, it is a trigger point for setting off those shocks, surprises, like the things that need to happen in order to help Uranus solve whatever, or help Uranus complete whatever he's trying to do for you. Okay, so there's that. This stuff is really nice. Okay, I'm done with my eye look. Now, because Aquarius is, like I said, like to me, it's like the most wintry of all the signs. Actually, I'm just going to go back into this role model real quick and like blend out a tiny bit of this blue. Like I said, because Aquarius to me is like the most like wintry of the signs. And the opposition is Leo, which is like, you know, like the brightest and most like bronze of the signs. I'm just going to dip into this Laura Geller color one more time to just kind of like blend things out a little bit. I don't like to do like a super bright, like I like to keep it sort of like toned down in terms of the glow, like the lip or the cheek in the bronze. So I am actually not really going to do a big time blush today. Instead, I am going to just use this Burt's Bees blush in the color Toasted Cinnamon. It's just like a little tan color. And I am going to, I'm not really going to make my face too bright. Like I want to keep it kind of like china. You know what I mean? Like porcelain looking. Like China doll looking, sort of. Like not like summer-ish, even though it is very, very hot and sunny where I live right now. So I need to do my under eye, and then I'm going to do this. And in the meantime, I'm going to finish talking about how you guys are mostly being impacted right now. Okay, so we said that your chart ruler, Aquarius, is in the 4th house. And when the moon goes into Aquarius every month and hits your sign, it's also squaring your ruling planet, which could trigger and set off some of those like bigger issues, bigger surprises, changes related to like roots, home, family. And like I said, it could also fall, that's the 4th house most likely. It could also fall into the 3rd or the 5th house, but I'm not going to talk about that right now. For now, we're just going to focus on 4th. All right, I'm going to take my little sponge and just do this. Blend it out a little bit. And I'm going to put on this blush. So yes, when the moon goes through your sign every month, it's going to square your chart ruler, Uranus in Taurus, and I'm not going to bring the color across my across my cheeks today, because I just kind of want it more like a cheekbone thing. Like I want it more like through here, not so like glowy. Yes, so moon goes through your sign, squares your chart ruler in the 4th, causing potentially like shakeups in like issues relating to home and security and stuff during that time. And what else? What else? So you guys have your like big transformation, like purge with the whole Jupiter, or the whole Saturn Pluto thing is happening in your 12th house. And that's not really like, when the moon goes through Aquarius right now, because that's happening in Sag and Capricorn, it's not really like doing that, like having that much of an impact on you guys like it might for the other signs where it's happening like in their sign. All right, I'm going to curl my lashes and talk. But I do just want to mention quickly that for you, the purging and of the purging and the transformation that's happening is going to be more if it's happening in your 12th house, Capricorn in your 12th, if you're ascendant Aquarius, it's going to be more about like your subconscious patterns. And I mean, that's kind of how it is for all of us, because it's about like the shadow side and like clearing out like past karma and stuff, which a lot of times is held in our subconscious patterns and belief systems. But for you guys, there's just like an extra emphasis on something having to do with changing like basic subconscious programming. You know, like from birth, we're all essentially programmed like by the things that happen to us to react and respond to things in a certain way, regardless of that's truly like our authentic nature or not. And for this to be happening for you guys in the 12th house, like the South Node, Saturn, Pluto conjunction, then that tells me, and we'll talk about this more, I just wanted to mention it briefly, that for you guys, it's really like your subconscious programming that needs to be completely rehauled so that you can be your most authentic self to bring to the whole what needs to be brought in order so that we can all like make our like conscious evolutions or whatever. Okay, and what else? All right, for you guys, the black moon and the black moon and Neptune in Pisces is happening in your second house, most likely. Your second house of what you value, your value systems, your security, what makes you feel secure, where you get security from, and generally like self-worth. All right. And so with Neptune and the black moon in most likely your second house, that is a lot of like maybe confusion or issues surrounding self-worth or where you find security or what brings you like feelings of comfort generally. I have these two different eyelash curlers because I really need a new eyelash curler. It's really hard for me to get to the store these days. My baby like doesn't like to like be good in stores, so I've been kind of avoiding it. So yeah, for you guys that have an Aquarius ascendant, with the black moon and Neptune falling into your second house, that's like bringing to the surface shadow issues regarding self-worth, personal security, like how you feel secure, like personal comforts, and also maybe like bringing clarity or confusion regarding those things, or causing you to maybe like have an awakening about something like on those like areas, like topics, like what gives you worth personally, or, you know, kind of like not wanting to look at that, kind of wanting to like escape from that. And like that's the other way that Neptune with the black moon might work. But really with the Neptune black moon, trying to refrain from being more like delusional about things, like trying to really find clarity about shadow issues regarding self-worth is what is necessary, Aquarius ascendants, right now. And as the full moon happens there in your second house, with that, there will be a full light in the next couple days shown on those issues, and it's opposing, you know, like the psychological complexes and stuff like that. So maybe for the first few weeks of the month of the new moon cycle, you've been kind of like analyzing on a deep level, like what is personally holding you back. And then when the full moon goes through and shines a full light on, you know, your shadow side issues or kind of like illusions surrounding like self-worth and stuff like that, maybe that will bring some clarity. And also it's going to square Jupiter when the moon goes into Pisces, because Jupiter's in Sagittarius and Neptune is making a square in Pisces. So there will be some type of an expansion regarding that. And Jupiter right now is most likely in your 11th house of hopes, wishes, dreams, like connection, like associates, like networking, like larger groups, organizations, like causes bigger than yourself. So maybe an expansion of that energy is causing changes in the way that you perceive your value systems, your self-worth, and stuff like that. So back into the makeup. I have my whole eye look done. I just need to do my mascara. Yes, I'm just going to do a tiny bit more of this blush, and then I'm going to do a little more powder. Yeah, so maybe changes happening in like the groups that you're associated with, or in like your goals and stuff like that are being like expanded, which is creating changes in your like perceived self-worth. And put a tiny bit up here. And maybe that's changing how clearly, you know, you see, like I said, your value systems and what brings you like comfort and makes you feel like worthy and stuff like that. All right, now I'm going to take this here mineral Physicians Formula mineral powder again, and I'm just going to kind of repowder the same areas I did earlier, because if I can find my powder brush, because like I said, I want more of like a porcelain finish today, even though it's summer, so I can't do too much, but yes. Now I'm going to go in with my bamboo blur powder and just powder up my under eyes. I'm actually going to throw just a tiny bit more concealer under there because I really want like a lighter under eye today than normal. Whole Aquarius, like Snow Queen vibe. And so, yeah, okay, so for you guys, the way I see it, it's like, ultimately, you need a subconscious reprogramming in order to evolve to your highest potential. And right now, there's confusion and, like, fear or, like, a shadow in your second house of self-worth, self-value, like comfort, security, etc. So, and from that second house, there's a square from Jupiter, which expands things in the 11th house of goals, groups, organizations, friends, stuff like that. Now I'm going to use this bamboo blur powder from 100% Pure. I absolutely love this stuff. And so it's like Jupiter, through expanding something in those 11th house areas of life, is trying to change the relationship that you have to either like the illusion of or clarity of your self-worth. Maybe you way overvalue yourself, you know, like it could go either way. And this is significant because when the moon goes through your sign, first of all, it will make a square to your ruler planet, Uranus in Taurus, and that will trigger changes, most likely related to like the home life and stuff like that because of where it's placed in the 4th house. Yes. I'm going to bring this down a little bit more today than I usually do. And when the moon comes in the next couple days, it'll go through your sign, and you might feel, you know, a little like crazy or like lively or emotional during that time when the moon is in your sign. But like, it's not really going to be making like too many like aspects. You might feel like more, if you have a stellium in Aquarius when the moon goes through your sign, that might make you feel a little more emotional. I mean, the moon going with all your planets just might bring like energy and like emotion and, you know, maybe like a little bit of like craziness. I don't know. Okay, so the moon will go through your sign, it will go through Aquarius, and then it will go into Pisces, okay? And when it goes into Pisces, it will be a full moon. It will conjunct the Neptune, conjunct the black moon, which will be quite heavy, most likely, and it will oppose all of the planets in Virgo that were there for the new moon. And that is your, most likely your 8th and your 2nd house axis. So once the moon does move through Aquarius and moves into Pisces, that's really going to shine a light on those issues surrounding like self-value and self-worth, and maybe what came up at the new moon around like maybe the deep psychological complexes or relationships or like entanglements with other people, or resources, like stuff like that that has led to those. Resources is sort of the eighth house, I feel like deep resources of things. So that's kind of how I see it for you guys. Now, for all of us with a stellium of planets in Aquarius, let me do, I'm going to do my mascara, and then I am going to put on just a little bit of a highlight because, like I said, it's like the icy theme, like vibe to me. Like, it's not like glowy, but that doesn't mean it's not shiny, because ice is pretty shiny, isn't it? Yes. Sometimes it is. And so I think that I'm going to go into this shade out of this Barbie by Pure palette, little compact. So let's do the mascara and wrap this one up. I am going to use my green tea mascara from 100% Pure, because I absolutely love this stuff. It is so good. And let's finish talking. Alrighty. So yes, for all of us that have a stellium of planets in Aquarius at this time, as the moon goes through our sign, like I said, and I can speak from experience, especially now that the black moon has moved to Pisces, it's actually kind of a relief for me and for us that have all of the planets in Aquarius. Because let me tell you, for the 9 months, especially last year, that the black moon was in Aquarius, straight up every time that the moon went into Aquarius, I would have like massive like issues, meltdowns. And I was always like, what is going on? And then I was like, oh, right. The moon's in Aquarius. Yeah, moon. Look how pretty that mascara is. I just love it. This mascara is so good. It's all natural. Obviously, it's from 100% Pure, but it's super buildable. It curls amazing. I have yet to see it like really clump in any way I don't like, and it smells so good. All right, I'm going to do the other side now. So yes, but since the black moon moved out of Aquarius, I have noticed that it hasn't been as bad when the moon goes through our sign. And this month, they're like the Virgo new moon and all of that. It wasn't, I mean, it was not in like direct, like square or making like hardcore aspects with the sign of Aquarius. So us, you guys, this go around are not like super under the gun. Like, it's not too bad. Not too much going on, but we do have Uranus in Taurus retrograde, and when the moon goes through a sign with any stellium, like it is going to be an more emotionally driven period of time. And so, yes, that's basically what I have to say for us people with stelliums in Aquarius. We also have Jupiter in Sag in a sextile, which is, you know, a pretty nice aspect. So it really might not be as heavy as a time. I'm going to do my bottom lashes. As heavy as a time for us Aquarians as maybe some of the other signs like Virgos and Pisces and like Cancer, Capricorn. You guys are really going through it right now. And also Taurus with Uranus in your sign. That's big shakeups too. All right. So last but not least, guys that have your moon in Aquarius, same type of thing. Your emotions, you know, your more internal, like, processing mechanism is getting highlighted with the moon. So it could be a more emotionally driven time for you, or just emotional time for you guys. And it's just a couple of days, and it happens every month. So we just get through it. But the good news for Aquarius moons is that there really isn't that much news for you guys. Like, aside from what's happening with Uranus, the fixed signs aren't super highlighted right now. It's more about the cardinal and the mutable, with like the black moon and Jupiter, Neptune, and mutable signs, and all of the planets in Virgo, and then the whole Cancer, Capricorn axis with the nodes and the Pluto-Saturn conjunction in Capricorn that is coming up. Gosh, this mascara, I just love it. I got this for free. I spent $70 at 100% Pure Cosmetics, and when I got it, I guess they had like a promotion going on, and if you spent $70, they sent you a kit with like $140 worth of products in it. I got the blur powder, I got this mascara, I got the liquid liner, and a couple brushes and stuff. And gosh, probably literally one of the best $70 values that I've like ever gotten. All right, I'm just going to kind of like blend out my under eye a little bit now. And then all I gotta do is put on my highlight and my lip, and we're good to go. So I think that I've pretty much said all I need to say for you guys. It's just, I love you. Like, I love all of you out there, and I love all of you who are on my similar Aquarian vibe. And I urge you to put on your inner leotard on Moon and Aquarius days, or whatever that is for you, so that you can be your own individual, authentic version of yourself, like I'm trying to do today with my electric blue eyes and my skin type black tank top that will go with jeans, because unfortunately I just can't do the full out cat suit. Nobody wants to see that. All right, so lastly, before I do my lip, I'm going to go into this Barbie palette highlight, and I'm going to do this color right here. Yes, I am. Oh, guess what? We're excited. Why are we excited? New makeup is on the way. Yes, ma'am. Pacifica. Yes, Pacifica, you know, like what I use for everything I put on my face pretty much, has 2 new eyeshadow palettes, and they're hemp-infused makeup. And my Oracle Goddess, Angel, Fairy Godmother, got it for me. Yep. And it's coming in the mail. I got 2 coming. I have the Tiger's Eye new Pacifica palette and the Cosmic something. But super excited. Can't wait. It should actually be here today. So the next time I see you guys, I'm going to be trying out new makeup. Maybe I'll make a video just about trying out that makeup. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see if I have time. Oh, I've also been wanting to say, and I keep forgetting, because I talk about the black moon all the time, and there's really, like, not very much information out there on the black moon. Like, you can't, like, I've tried, you can't really just, like, go online and, like, look up the black moon and do tons of research. Like, there's not really many people have gone into it, but my teacher, Laura Walker, she's like the black moon astrologer. Like, she knows all about it. She wrote a book about it a while ago, like years ago. and it's free, and I'm going to put the link in the description box. So if you are interested in what I say, like when it comes to the Black Moon and you don't know too much about it, you should totally check out her book because it will really like explain it and make it more understandable. I'm taking so long to put this highlight on. I don't know why. It will really make it more understandable, and you'll get a much better view. So I'm going to put the link to that in my description box, and everyone should check that out because the lady knows what she's talking about. That's what I'm going to say about that. Yes. All right, so I need to fix my eyebrow just a tiny bit. I use this Maybelline Tattoo Studio pencil. Like, these don't have like great reviews. I don't know why I use this, but for whatever reason, it just seems to work. I need to try that like Anastasia Brow Wiz pencil that everybody like talks and raves about. But I just haven't yet, and I've been using this, and like this has been working, so I've just been using this. I'm going to use a little bit of this like brow wax from e.l.f. It's just like clear wax, and I use this stuff regularly. I really like it. It just like kind of holds your brows in place. Yes. So for my lip today, since my eyes are so like big and bright, I can't put anything too bright on my lips. And so I'm going to go with just like a pale nude lip, like more like silvery toned. And I'm going to use, as usual, I'm going to use two of my Burt's Bees crayons. I'm going to use this one that I always use in the shade Sand or Sedona Sands. And then I'm going to use this Burt's Bees gloss crayon in the shade Outback Oasis. Sorry, I've had this for a long time and I've used it a lot, so the package is not so pretty anymore. I actually have a new one of those. I should have grabbed that one. It looks better. So that is what I'm doing for my lips. And then I'm going to use this, just like NYX pencil in the shade London. A lip liner is probably one of the only things that I won't like necessarily have to use all natural because I feel like it's such a small line. It just doesn't skeeve me out as much as like, you know, throwing something all over my face. And this is just like a brown, like neutral, nude color. So, okay, I can't talk in line, so I'm going to line and then talk. So we're lined. Now I am going to use this Sedona Sands lip crayon and just put it on. Like this. And like I said, my big Aquarian thing today is my eye look. And also channeling my inner gymnast. Because Aquarius is all about being true to our individual, authentic uniqueness. You know, Aquarius is an individual. And so we should express our individuality. Maybe yours is in the form of a leotard too. Maybe it's not. I don't know. But whatever it is, go for it. And do it with a bright fluorescent eye look. All right, now I am just going to tap a tiny, blot a little bit of that off. And I'm going to go in with my gloss crayon in Outback Oasis. I really love this shade. I've been using it for years. Honestly, these Burt's Bees crayons were probably the beginning of like my makeup evolution a few years ago. I took a really long makeup hiatus, like for 15 years while I was in hardcore USA gymnastics and then like other things. But I kind of got like, but I got like I've been like going through like a process of like reconnecting with myself or whatever. You know, you can see it in my astrology. But yeah, like, so I started getting back into the makeup and stuff because I was really, really into it as a little girl, like super into it. And then like, you know, it wasn't really like something that people really approved of, you know, and gymnastics was much better for like getting like the approval or whatever that I was like looking for. So I did gymnastics instead of makeup, which was probably the right thing. Although I always wished I had been a dancer. But you know what? Life is long. Maybe I still can be. And anyways, yeah, now I'm back with makeup, and I'm, like I said, I only use all natural makeup, but it really started with like an attraction to like the lip colors, and I got 1 Burt's Bees crayon, and then I got 3, and then I got 8, and then I started getting eyeshadows, and then I started getting blushes, and then I started getting everything, and a year later, here we are. So I am literally like done. Let me just throw a tiny bit of this like down the middle of my face. And yeah, I think that's it. Okay guys, so here I am with my full Moon in Aquarius look for the day. As I said in the beginning, Aquarius is all about your unique individual representation of yourself and the energy that you bring to the collective whole, like your little puzzle piece out of like the main big picture. And so for me, a major part of my little puzzle piece all my life was always being a gymnast, being in the gym, and being in a leotard. So for me, I'm sorry, but tight spandex is just where I'm the most comfortable. And so for my Moon in Aquarius first video, I decided that I was just going to put back on my spandex. It's really just a tight black like shirt and jeans, but it makes me feel like myself. Because that's just what I did for so long, and that's what feels so naturally and so normal to me. So that's what I urge you to do for your Aquarius look as well. Now, also, I went big with the eyes. I have an electric blue eye look. I used 2 shades, Cornflower and Boysenberry from the All Natural Face, and I used the shade Ken out of my Barbie by Pure palette for my eye look, and then I went over with a thick black line of my green tea black mascara from 100% Pure, all natural. I wanted to kind of keep like a less glowy tanned skin look today, so I really didn't use much blush. I used this Toasted Cinnamon Burt's Bees blush with Bamboo. I really like those blushes, and I really just brought it like on my cheekbone today. I didn't bring it across like the mask of my face. And then I used, because I didn't want something like super glowy, I just used a little highlight out of my Barbie by Pure highlight. I used this like bronze color, and I just did a little bit across my highlight spot. I used the black tea lengthening mascara from 100% Pure. Absolutely love it. Threw some powder, mineral powder from Physicians Formula on my face, a little bit of blur powder on my under eye, and then for my lip today, I used the London NYX pencil for a line, and then I used 2 Burt's Bees crayon. I used the Sedona Sands as the matte crayon as my base, and then I used Outback Oasis as a gloss over the top. So this is my look for the Moon in Aquarius today. I have my mock leotard on, and my bright electric blue eye look, and my silvery, more Snow Queen makeup, because Aquarius opposes Leo, and if Leo's the sun, then Aquarius is the ice queen, right? So in terms of the astrology, if you are an ascendant in Aquarius, then that means that the new moon in Virgo fell most likely in your 8th house, and that means that there was a lot of energy maybe towards like introspection, psychological matters, looking deeply at ourselves, potentially relationships entanglements, resources with others, and kind of like analyzing on a deeper level maybe things that are going on with us under the surface. And then coming up in a couple of days when the full moon becomes in Pisces, it will be in your 2nd house of self-worth, value, security, and basically just how you get your sense of self-worth. And so with the new moon having fallen in your 8th house of kind of like introspection and analysis, it's also making a square with Jupiter in perhaps your 11th house. And Jupiter is trying to create changes, and it's trying to expand things. So it's possible for you guys in Aquarius that maybe like your goals or your dreams or the associations or the groups that you're involved with are causing changes in terms of making you maybe like self-analyze or introspect or look at some deeper issues, so that when the full moon comes through and goes through Pisces, it can shine a light on, your value systems, what you perceive is like your security, your self-worth, everything like that. And so that's kind of like what's going on for you guys during this moon cycle. Nothing crazy is really happening in your sign, although your ruling planet is Uranus, and Uranus is in Taurus, another fixed sign. So as the moon goes through your sign, it will come to the point where it squares off with Uranus, and Uranus is most likely in your 4th house of like boots, family, comforts, stuff like that. So as the moon goes through your sign, comes to that square, you might experience some shakeups or some surprises regarding like the home, family, issues like that. So that's my moon in Aquarius video for today. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that you enjoyed it and you spend the next few days sort of embracing your inner individual and uniqueness and what you can bring to the collective whole. And I will catch you guys back next time for my video on the moon in Pisces. Hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications. And until then, AstroBeauty out.